Welcome in, everybody, to today's coverage of the 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament. Spencer Tomsat, Austin Ray will be joining me shortly as a deep hit to right field. And the roof for hospitality just does not get any breaks. That's ball number 3 on the roof. We see 3 over there. And the Green Jays of Jackson facing off against the Eagles of Dyersburg. And foul there for the Green Jays. And an out. So Austin will be joining me momentarily. We're excited to bring you this final game of today's coverage. So obviously the tournament bracket results. The Eagles pulled off the upset over Cleveland State 3-2, 4:30 yesterday, and the Bucks were upset by the Green Jays 7-4 in the night game that lasted about 3 hours. Now a 1-0 count with one at the top of the first and flex out into the mesh. Since you're going to be a while, go find me a full, ask for a fourth. And a strikeout for 2 outs in the top of the first.
Now batting number 32, the first baseman, C.J. Clark.
Green Jays not getting any luck, but C.J. Clark steps up to the mound. The man who's had 2 home runs in the tournament, had the first home run this tournament in the wild card game against the Rowan State Raiders, and goes foul. And C.J. Clark C.J. Clark, the freshman first baseman. Stats haven't been updated for Jackson State from their playoff games at this point. 12 home runs on the regular season and 14 total after yesterday. Here's the 0-2. Outside 1-2, and the bench is loud for the Eagles today. We'll see if we get some volume from the Green Jays later on. Swing and a miss. And that's the end of the top of the first. The Green Jays cannot get on base. Eagles are up to bat. into the bottom of the first inning. First time we'll see the Eagles bat tonight. And they have McCutcheon up, and the Eagles stats have been updated through yesterday. Foul ball there. And McCutcheon with a .339 average has a triple and 9 doubles through the season. And Kaiser on the mound for the Green Jays with a .489 ERA, and past the pitcher into the outfield, and a single for the Eagles. And again, you can hear the vocal cords vibrating excessively for everybody on the Dyersburg dugout.
Number 7, the right fielder, Christian Martin.
So there's a little bit of chatter coming from the Green Jays, but not too much. So Christian Martin comes up. 377 through the postseason, 3 home runs, 41 RBIs, tied for second with the team. Here's Martin, hits it up for a foul. And caught for the out.
Now batting number 6, the third baseman, Drew Rickert.
Drew Rickert up to bat now, .386 average with 41 RBIs, 5 home runs, and tied with Nellis for the most home runs of the team. Nellis and Rodriguez outside for 1. And we didn't get a chance to do the pregame, Austin, but looking at this matchup for the obvious upsets that these teams made against the Bucks and excuse me to make sure I get this right here. The obvious upsets they made against the Bucks and the Tigers. Of course, the Tigers now going home after being eliminated by the Bucks. It's one of these matchups that you're not sure 100% how it's going to go because of the upsets on the 2 and 3 seeds, but it also means that whoever wins this, they're going to be coming. They have the Walter State Senators number.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it usually just comes from which team is better at what they're good at. Right now, Dyersburg, they're doing a great job of their pitching aspect. It's really making a move on the dugout of their own, and they're getting excited for it. I mean, the dude is going off tonight. He is really hitting high fastballs. He's hitting his marks really well. Had a couple of good breaking balls during that time, but still he didn't let anybody get on base, which is fantastic. And he kept it short and sweet, and that's what a lot of pitchers try to do at most points, and it's just a different thing from trying than it is doing, and he was actually able to do it. Then again, the Green Jays, they're actually a real good hitting team. I have a couple of friends that actually go there. I asked them one day, how do y'all do for y'all's hitting?
Speaking of hitting, there's a pop fly out to about second base and catch made, so 2 outs now.
I asked a couple of players of how do they perform while they're hitting, like what routines do they get into, and they're like, well, we really just focus on the power aspect of it because we've gotten to the point where we know how to swing, but now they're looking to gain more power. So really, what that tells you is that their bat speed's going to be picking up a lot more. And if they actually do make contact with the ball, they're looking to drive it somewhere. They're not looking for a whole bunch of ground balls. They're looking for a whole bunch of doubles, triples, and especially home runs, especially with all the power that they're working on. So it's just really going to be a time to focus on each of those individuals that have a certain place in this game as far as Dyersburg and their pitching, because they're going to work on their pitching a lot, and Green Jays for their hitting, because that's what they're really good at doing.
0-1 count for Gilliam, who with a .537 slugging, he's got 3 home runs and 10 doubles. Gilliam, a name we called a lot last night during that late night header, and stolen base. CJ Wright on first base. Goes back a little bit. Now a runner on second with 2 outs for the Eagles. The Green Jays in this night game trying to move on to the winners final. Play for a spot in the conference championship. One and one. Swing and a miss. Gilliam has been struck out 19 times, walked 22. Telling you, the chatter from the Eagles is going to be one of the many reasons we're staying awake tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's just exciting to hear from the dugouts. I mean, it brings back a whole bunch of memories and brings that excitement back to baseball, something that you really don't see a lot when you're at college baseball games or any games in particular, and that's what coaches really try to make you do.
And there's a hit to center field, drop down, and for the first run of the game, it goes to the Eagles.
Perfect use of the hit and run right there from the runner on second, and was able to easily get home on that.
Eagles with run number 1 to start out the game.
Now batting number 23, the second baseman, Luis Rodriguez.
So here's the 1-0 count set up for Rodriguez. Rodriguez, one of the 4 home runs that have occurred in the postseason. One of those home runs coming from last night's late game, and this one's starting late instead of 7:30.
This one started about the same time as it did last night.
About 8:15, 8:30.
Yeah, the only thing is that we're hoping it's not going to last 3.5 hours, almost till midnight like last night.
It's the beauty of baseball. You never know how long the game is going to last because of the intensity on the mound and on the plate.
Thing with Dyersburg is they're going to always keep bringing the intensity, so hopefully that the intensity keeps rising up for them and they can get more base hits out of this. They can always get more base hits just from the dugout no matter what situation they're in.
And advance to second off of the pitch going in the dirt. Now 3-1. The Eagles start out with a run there and keeping the Green Jays from even getting on base in the first inning. And a hit, catch by the shortstop. End of the first inning. The Eagles strike first, heading to the second. Top of the second.
Number 2, the right fielder, Derek Junker.
Derek Junker leads off in the second inning with a 3.02 average. He's got a 463 slugging, has 8 doubles and 4 home runs. And pitcher Wasson set up for the 0-1. Here's the 1-1. 1-2. It's now 2-2. Top of the second, the Green Jays trying to retaliate to the 1 run in the bottom of the first. Jackson State's starting to learn how to speak.
Yeah, they're wanting to compete both on and off the field with Dyersburg, especially when it comes to dugout, because they want to show that their teammates are right behind their backs too.
It's a 2-2 count. And into the dirt, out. So now out 1.
Now batting number 33, the designated hitter, Javon Greer.
And here's the fabled man who got hit by a line drive foul, Yvonne Grier, last night. 319 average and 41 RBIs. Bases strike 1.
Yeah, it's great to see him up and moving again, just because that was a big hard line drive that he got hit by, and I thought it even hit the fence, but still, it still hurts when he gets hit by it.
Strike two. And grounder to third, bounces past the third baseman. Base hit for Yvonne Gruyere.
Now batting number 24, the catcher, Bo Simpson.
And Simpson, another great player we've talked about plenty of times with 323 average and has been struck out 18 times, but makes up for it with 30 hits and 3 home runs. Up to bat for the first time tonight. Strike one. And a balk, advance to second. One and two. Outside, even count. Full count now for Simpson. Outside, and they walk Simpson. Now, Alex DeRiggi with a 203 average. The batter with a temper comes up. 27 hits and 28 runs out of 133 appearances. He's the only guy I've seen to actually slam his bat on the ground after getting struck out, at least in this tournament.
It is a frustrating sport when it comes to this. I mean, he knows that he could do so much better, and he has been doing a good things here and there. I do know that last night's game, it was just a lot of frustration coming out of him. And I guess really it was just more of the fact that he did have an error or two going into that game. And he started to swing like he's never swung. Like he's never really swung the way he did last night. So I'm guessing that's just something he's going to prove just like that.
There's a way he swung that night. And it's
gone.
gone. Make that home run number 5 on the postseason, and DeRiggi with a 2-run homer. Green Jays take the lead. 3-run homer. So 3-1 lead for the Green Jays.
Like I said, I knew he was going to do something spectacular. We've been saying his name a lot too much for him just not to do anything spectacular.
The frustration from yesterday completely gone now and forgotten about. Home run number 5 for Alex DeRiggi on the season.
Now batting number 1, the left fielder.
And Khalil Dunn, we'll see if he can get the bench hyped up more after something like that. Loser of this game faces off against the Columbia State Chargers tomorrow afternoon at 1. Came close to the dugout on that one. Close to maybe Gruyere getting hit again, having PTSD on that one.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure he's just going to stay down in the dugout, and the coach won't even get mad just because he's still shaken up by it probably.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Almost sounded like he got a piece of it there.
Yeah, he did.
And right across the middle, strikeout. I believe that makes it out number 2.
Now batting
Next
number 11,
up
the center fielder,
is Cade Kaufman with 15 hits on 62 appearances. Now, these stats for Jackson State have not been updated since the conclusion of the regular season. A 252 average. Dyersburg's gotten their stats updated.
Some schools are good about getting them and others aren't. Walters used to be the best because they would have,
There's a hit out of the park foul. Kaufman's got some power on his swing.
Yeah, he definitely does. He just pulled that way too hard and got it above his shoulder.
With that kind of power, it's not 100% reflective of his 306 slugging percentage. There's strike 2. A 1-2 count for Kaufman with 2 outs and nobody else on base because they're cleared by DeRiggi. And strikeout, and that'll end the inning. A 3-run homer by DeRiggi puts the Green Jays in the lead heading into the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second, 3-1. The Green Jays got a 3-run homer with DeRiggi. And the Eagles looking to respond. They need more than just their chatter, but it's helped them a decent amount thus far. As the Eagles' Josh Nellis up on the plate with 150 appearances. The sophomore third baseman at a .313 average has a swing and a miss for the 1-2 count. You always wonder coming into late games like this, especially after playing such a late night previously, if fatigue is going to cause an issue.
Yeah, definitely, especially if you're in the risk of an early morning game. Like if you're going to lose this game, Columbia is one of the first games to come on tomorrow morning, and so it's going to be a big factor into that game. So really both of these teams got something to win for, and really that's just so they can get more sleep going out of this game.
Well, Nellis isn't going to sleep after that one. A strikeout for out one. The Eagles trying to respond to the 3-run homer. Mylan Johnson with 34 hits and 22 runs on a 129 at bat with a 264 average. One and one. Swing and a miss for 2-2. And the superstition continues. Even count. And strike three, he's out. Johnson had a little bit of a stare down with the umpire there.
Yeah, he did not like that call one bit. So he just looked at the umpire. But always a bad thing about that is you never know what the umpire is going to be thinking when you do that. You can always be thrown out just for the tiniest of things.
And a huge hit by Cameron Berry. Down towards the middle, caught and out. Nobody on base for the Eagles after a 3-run homer. The Green Jays take the lead going up to bat.
No runs, no hits.
DJ Wright for the top of the third.
Even soft seats, you get a little bit.
Strike one. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss.
Yes, he is.
Gets the hit past the shortstop. Potential double here, hits the wall. Actually short of the wall there, and slide into second.
I almost hurt him right there. He hesitated going around and had a little stutter step. And I feel if he would have had a better throw over the second, he possibly could have been out.
And a double for DJ Wright, or as his teammates know him, Sir Slides a lot. And get down to next pitch here for Travis Reeves. With him and DJ Wright, they share the most at-bats coming into the tournament with a 308 average. 16 times he's been struck out, but made up for it with 23 RBIs and 48 hits. Outside 2-0. Gets a foul hit, and Hospitality gets just over. Maybe if our good friend Johnny is over there in Hospitality, he can keep that one for a souvenir. Johnny Littrell, the athletic director for Columbia State, and one of the, say it's caught directly by the third baseman. Just a quick reaction there to make it out.
He got handcuffed doing that too. I know that hurt.
Now batting number 32. The first
You ever had catches like that when you were on the mound?
There was too many. Too many to count.
And the power hitter is back up. Power hitter C.J. Clark. Home run in every playoff game. Tossed to third and off of the bag. Safe on third. So the 0-1 count. The power hitter has gotten a home run in every playoff game thus far. Looks to keep the streak alive. And ground to the dugout, 0-2. And strikeout.
Ooh.
Close one there. 2 outs.
Just took out one Green Jays, one of their best hitters, one of their biggest hitters, really. And then a fantastic, excuse me, can't speak English today. fantastic fashion.
You were saying?
That was it.
There's a fantastic strike out there. Clark will be back, of course. And Derek Junker, the next one in the batting order, 302 with a 463 slugging. 28 RBIs. 2 outs with a 0-1 count. 0-2. It's always difficult with breaking balls like that to tell exactly the direction it's going to go. And got a piece of it for a foul. Make that a 1-2. One and two. High up for even. One of the interesting things that was pointed out to us earlier, it's hard to see at night, but as a full count there's actually in the northeast end of the, northeast end of the field, there's a hammock out there for one of the viewers. Not sure if it's in use at the moment, but I could see one of the straps off of the lights, and there's a hammock over there that somebody was easily enjoying a view of the baseball game. It's a grounder. Shortstop can't make the pickup, and a run home for the Green Jays. Run number 4 and safe on first.
Just a great hit there by Junker. Hit it hard on the ground towards shortstop and making the shortstop having the shortstop trying to make a play on there. And really just came up with a great hit and an easy error that could have happened to the shortstop.
And Yvonne Gruyere returns to the plate. With his 548 slugging, he's got a runner on first. 0-1. You guys can't see it, but Austin up here, anytime the ball is caught, he's giving signals for either strike or a ball. Auditioning for his future umpire days if he ever decides to leave the broadcasting booth. Enjoys broadcasting way too much. You were saying earlier that as the second base stolen, couldn't get the catch. Looked like it almost hit his helmet.
It hit his glove, I thought, and then it just bounced out. He tried to close it too early.
It's 1-1. What you were saying earlier is that although you enjoy broadcasting this, it's just painful to watch baseball broadcasting because you'd rather be out there on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it's always true when it comes to that. Any baseball player that ever played baseball, if they're ever up in the broadcasting, no matter what age they are, they're always going to say that they'd rather be back on the field than playing again, which really it sounds a lot easier than what it is, because when people say that, they want to be out there in the moment. They don't want to be playing in a league or anything like that to where they won't get recognized. Everybody wants to get recognized when they're playing the sport, and that's why colleges are the best way to get to where you're going when you're playing baseball, because you got a lot of scouts coming. It's your time to shine when you get recognized during that. And it happens in high school too, but it's not as often as you think, unless you really just put yourself out there towards doing it and you're really dedicated to it. And it's, for some people, it will just happen, and for some people, it just won't. But no matter what, people are going to want to play, no matter what age they get. You could be senior citizen age, about 7 years old. It doesn't matter.
Just be mindful of who we have join us in the booth.
Hey, they still won't play. It's okay.
You never know. Full count. Gets a deflection off the mesh there. It's been a while since I've actually called a soccer game because I played goalkeeper for 5 years and total soccer for 8 years. And I'm calling a soccer championship on Saturday when all is said and done here for the baseball tournament. And I may get the same feelings you are of wanting to be in that moment in goal. 3-2. Another one off the mesh and goes back to the stands. And only one guy chasing after it.
Sadly, it's not the MLB to where you can keep the ball. So,
Actually, could you keep the baseballs in this conference? No.
no. And the reason is because college is always limited on baseballs,
Yep.
no matter what. And when you go to a university, I don't know the rules there. I'm pretty sure you can keep the baseball that goes out on there. But
Yeah.
when it comes to
Junior college
and high school, no, you definitely cannot keep the baseball just because of how much baseballs actually really do cost.
And there's another foul out. Almost looked like it hit the electrical wires there.
I was looking for it. I was hoping it would just to see what we'll see.
Be pretty shocking if that happened. Full count. I think Austin has officially given up on me at this point. It's been a long day. 3-2. And they walk him.
I just like how throughout this whole day, I'm pretty sure you've been waiting this whole time to make that putt.
No. No, I hadn't been thinking about that at all. That was the first time I noticed that they had wires out there. I don't even look up that much at them.
Now batting number 24, the catcher.
So
I'll take your word for it.
Bo Simpson up, 323 average. He's got 1 double, 2 triples, and 3 home runs. And he's got a runner on at first and second now with 2 outs. One zero.
Hey, hit his chest protector, but yeah, I thought that he hit the glove.
So Wasson standing tall on the mound in the top of the third.
Watson has a very good arm right now. He's been doing his best just to at least get the strikes. Right now he's working a little too much in on the right-handed batters, but those are easy. Those are the easiest corrections of what you can do. Everything that he's been throwing is really what he's been intending to do. His fastball's been coming in on right-handed pitchers, as well as his curveball's been going away from him. So all the pitchers are doing the right job. He's actually doing a really good job of locating them. So you can't fault him for what he's been doing.
And a quick mound visit by the coach. And they do have somebody going to warm up in the bullpen. Doesn't look like they're going to make the change just yet. Just having a discussion with the fielders to get everything settled. No pitching change yet, but they do have a potential reliever warming up in the bullpen. As Bo Simpson faces the 1-1. And 2-1. They pop up for even count. Even count. Outside for full. Simpson has been struck out 18 times and walked 13 going into the postseason. And potential to get the bases loaded. And he's got DeRiggi on deck.
Yeah, we all saw what happened last time DeRiggi was up. He hit that 3-run home run.
And grounder goes foul. So, see if Wasson can get the strikeout here. And low for the walk and loaded bases with DeRiggi coming up.
Now batting number 21, the third baseman, Alex DeRiggi.
A 3-run homer, and what is DeRiggi gonna do next? Bases full. Swing and a miss. He's swinging. Strike two. Outside. And he's got a hit to center field, not going to be enough distance, and that's the end of the top of the third for the Green Jays. They got one run in, 4-1. The 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament is sponsored by Sundrop Bottling, Alpha Graphics of Franklin, Fairfield by Marriott, Lister Hill Credit Union, and Hampton by Hilton. Bottom of the third, and the Eagles trying to respond. And Torres, the freshman, with 37 at-bats, 216 average. And in their 3-2 victory over Cleveland State yesterday, Torres was at-bat 4 times. He had 1 hit, 1 strikeout. So didn't have too much of an active game yesterday. Seeing if he can get anything going in this second late night game for the Eagles. Toss over and strike out. Excuse me, this is the late afternoon game yesterday for the Eagles. This is their first late night game. It's the Green Jays who are on their second late night after about a 3.5 hour game yesterday, which had excitement all throughout. And a hit to right center, base hit. Stays on first. Now Kristen Martin, 337 average and 41 RBIs, tied for the lead of second with Drew Reckert, right behind Gilliam. 162 at-bats, strike 1. Grounder, third base, second. Not enough to get the double play, but 2 outs.
He just couldn't get the ball out of his glove and couldn't get the right grip for himself.
Now batting number 6, the third baseman, Drew Rickard.
And a hit to right center, going towards the wall, and run to third and slide into second, safe. And an upcoming potential scoring play for the Eagles.
That was just a great hit over there in right, right center field. Almost had a chance to bring the runner on third into home. Just couldn't, though, just because it was just a great intentions by the outfield to bring in the ball fast, and which they did. And so there's nothing wrong with any of both teams right there. Great hit and great way to get the ball back in.
Gilliam with a .537 slugging percentage sets up for a perfect scoring opportunity. He's got 3 home runs and leads the team up to date with 49 RBIs. 0-1. And the chatter between the dugouts is real right now.
Yeah, for real. They're really getting into it with each other. Before the game even started, you already knew Dyersburg was going to be up and running for their dugout. I guess Jackson State just kind of figured they might as well go and play along with them. And look at it now that Jackson State's actually been winning in both the dugout and the field as of right now.
1-1. So pop up. That's out. That did not sound good. One and two. It's 1 and 2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. The scoreboard has an incorrect clock saying 5:02 there. Of course, it's probably 5:43 somewhere. But here it's almost 10 o'clock in Central Time.
I think there's a reason why no one fixed it in the first place, too. No one ever looks at it but us.
Yeah. Used to be a useful feature whenever they built that scoreboard, but now people have watches, phones, computers, tablets, anything to just tell the time more synchronized with them.
iPods, sundials, whatever you got.
Sundials?
Hey, we going back to the 15th
I mean, the sundials were even before they had clocks installed like that.
That lightning hit it right after they installed it. That's the reason it never keeps proper time.
It's apparently an interesting story given to us right after they installed the clock there on the scoreboard. It was struck by lightning and has not worked the same ever since.
That was Coach Patterson.
Hey, Spencer, now that's a shocker right there.
See, both of us can do back-to-back electric puns.
Yeah.
Because the thing about electricity is it's always current. Got one guy in the booth to laugh at that as it's sent to right field, and catch made to end the inning. A few hits, but no runs for the Eagles. 4-1 heading into the fourth.
For the Eagles.
Top of the fourth for the Green Jays and the Eagles. Jackson State leading 4-1, trying to get a spot in the winner's bracket final against the Walters State Senators tomorrow. Spencer Thompson and Austin Ray bringing you Game 4 of our coverage today. We've been up since or at least we've been on site since about 9:30 this morning.
A little bit earlier.
Just a little bit over 12 hours. Well, a little bit earlier for you. Probably about 9:20 is when I got here. And we have to do it all over again for one more day with the final full day schedule tomorrow. Got a 10 o'clock game. The Chargers host the loser of, excuse me, that one is at 1 o'clock. The 10 o'clock game tomorrow is the Tigers and the Bucks. That elimination game starts at 10. And then Columbia State at 1 o'clock hosts the loser of this game, either the Green Jays or Eagles. And 4:30, excuse me, I put it wrong on our bracket here. It's Cleveland State at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, he got past him.
Got past.
It's an easy triple for him.
Easy triple headed all the way to third base. Safe on third for the triple. That's what happens when you look at a bracket and don't see the pitch.
That's all on you.
Exactly. So, schedule for tomorrow. 10 o'clock, the Chattanooga State Tigers, because they lost to Walter State, they're facing off against the Motlow State Bucks at 10 o'clock. 1 o'clock, the Columbia State Chargers will host the loser of this game, either the Eagles or the Green Jays. And then 4:30, we will have the winner's bracket final match for a berth in the championship again between the Walter State Senators and either the Eagles or the Green Jays, whoever wins this game. And at 7:30, we will have the loser's bracket semifinal between either the Tigers or Bucks or the Chargers, Green Jays, or Eagles. Right now, nothing confirmed until 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock games conclude. So whoever wins tomorrow at 10 and 1 o'clock, they got to turn around and play another game at 7:30.
Right, and I'm not even going to say it's going to be all about fatigue, because once they win that game, one of those teams win that game, they're going to be excited that it's going to be a championship game, and they're just going to get ready for it and get prepared mentally and physically prepared. I'm guessing that's what they're going to be doing throughout the day tomorrow. No matter what team you are, you're going to get mentally and physically prepared for it, because for the teams that are in it now, they still have a chance for it, so they're going to be able to make a difference when tomorrow comes. Woo!
And there it goes into the center.
And a
toss
barehanded
quick,
throw.
He got out. One out, but a run scored for the Green Jays, make that 5-1.
I just want to talk about that play that shortstop made. Came up and made a barehanded play and threw it on dart.
Now a 5-1 score for the Green Jays as they're trying to have a date with the Senators tomorrow at 4:30. And the 7:30 game tomorrow is the semifinal for the loser's bracket, because whoever wins that will face the loser of the Senators game at 4:30 tomorrow. And that determines who will face whom in the championship game at 4 o'clock on Thursday. Classic double elimination bracket. As the Green Jays get the run to make it 5-1. DJ Wright back up on the plate. And Wasson standing through 3 innings. And the count 3-0. Low for strike one. 3-1 in the top of the fourth. Full count. Wright has been struck out 17 times going into the playoffs. And struck out last inning. One of the big things about and gets to walk on that one. So 1 out and a runner on first. One of the big things, of course, for the Green Jays going into the tournament, they were 14th in the nation in shutouts, and their other top statistic, they were 28th in home runs with 46. Some big statistics there as it ball fouls for Travis Reeves.
I think the best part about the Jackson State Generals or Green Jays, they do have two mascots technically. That is because the only reason why I like them more is because they actually started off in the wild card bracket, so they made their way up here, and they're the only ones left still in from the wild card bracket to still be in this tournament.
Yeah, the Pioneers eliminated officially earlier today by the Columbia State Chargers. So 11-1 on that score in I believe the bottom of the 8th inning. It's either that or bottom of the 7th. And Chargers remain in the bracket. It's the host team. The softball team got eliminated on a walk-off 2-run homer. And Cleveland State still in the bracket who eliminated them. Is in the softball tournament being hosted here as well, as that ball is guaranteed foul, but will be an out, and just gives a little tap to the hospitality canopy. I don't know if it's just there's a baseball magnet over there or if the baseballs are seeing something we don't, but maybe all these baseballs are hungry. They've been less than as long a day as we are. We got to get you a headset at some point, man. The one-liners will be entertaining. We got a third headset we can put on you. And safe. Safe with the steal at second. Safe on second. Just 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Full count. We've seen a lot of fantastic baseball games today, especially earlier with the Walter State game. Even though they pitched their ace, he was not at his prime, as the runner is Reeves gets walked. Runners on first and second, and C.J. Clark back up to the plate. Looks like we're going to have a call to the bullpen for a pitching change. So the Eagles make the call to the bullpen for Nick Noble, who has a 2.52 ERA with 30 strikeouts and 12 walks in 11 appearances and 25 innings pitched. So with one out in the top of the fourth, the Eagles trying to prevent the Green Jays from getting any more runs in this inning. And that's a pop up by C.J. Clark just past first base, and catch made. So that'll be 2 outs. You think Clark has a chance to get another home run in this game?
Now batting number
I
30,
believe he does. I mean, he's one of their biggest power hitters that the Green Jays have, and really he's been phenomenal when it comes to hitting home runs. So I'm always on the lookout for when he's up to bat just to see if he will get a home run or not.
Been up to bat, I think, 3 times at this point, out all 3 of them. And there's 2 outs here for Junker to try and get through. And advance to second and third. So now Junker with the chance to get more runs on the board for the Green Jays. And you mentioned it already, but with the journey the Green Jays have taken from the wild card, it's one of those cases you see in any level of sports with the playoffs, is that as ball pitch and a run home. There's run number 6 for the Green Jays. So a runner on third now, and 6-1 for Jackson State's lead over Dyersburg. And 2 runs this inning. Looks like they've been riding off of the motivation from DeRiggi's 3-run homer in the top of the second.
Yeah, it's been a big factor in their game plan today. And really, it really actually just shut down the whole Dyersburg bench, which is the first out of this whole tournament right now. So you could just see how the tables have turned with both of these teams going on. Jackson State's being a lot louder, a lot more hype, and then Dyersburg is. And that's just like the first time that we've seen from the Dyersburg bench from the start of this whole tournament. So you got to give it up for Jackson State on this. They're doing their best job out here, and they're really making the effort to actually win this, and they won't win it all.
And you mentioned the story you enjoy is it's hit to right field and an out. 2 runs in the top of the fourth. The Green Jays lead 6-1. The Eagles going to try to respond. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Eagles trying to respond, down 5 runs on strike 1. And they've got Rodriguez leading off the fouls that for 0-2, and I believe Rodriguez, the one of 3 players to get home runs in the tournament thus far. 2 of them coming from C.J. Clark. So combined, make that actually 1 of 4, with 2 of them coming from C.J. Clark, and of course D. Riggy getting the 5th home run of the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams, they've been doing a great job of hitting. We haven't seen that many home runs, but then again, you won't be seeing a lot of home runs here and there just because it's tournament time, and they're really going to be more focused on the base hits. So really what they got to do is focus on the base hits, not worry about the home runs as much, but if you do get a home run, then that's just fantastic. That will always bring the energy up for both of your teams. And really, you just need to go forward from there, and you can always, go forward, and you can always make it better so you can go back-to-back home runs if you're feeling up to it. But it is one of the hardest things to do in baseball.
So 1-2 count here for Rodriguez. Past the halfway point in the game. And strikeout. Now Nellis back up. DH for tonight. Slugging .467. Strike 1. And you were right about the vocality changing. We're getting a lot more from the Green Jays dugout, trying to stick it to the Eagles. It's on the 1-1, but you talked about how just the wild card story has been fantastic for the Green Jays, and how an 8-0 sweep of Roane State in the wild card, a 7-4 win upset over Motlow State, and right now they're leading 5 runs, potentially on the verge of going to the winners final against Walter State tomorrow. It just begs the question of, where's this Jackson State team? Where were they during the regular season for them to show up in the playoffs different to their seeding?
You know, for community college, each community college always gets a chance at a shot for the tournament. I'm pretty sure that the only reason why Jackson really never tried their best is just so they can learn from all their mistakes. They're mainly a hitting group, so when they're practicing.
As this is sent, the center fielder can't make the catch, and he's going to run into second base. Can he slide in time? Yes. Doesn't have to slide there, but a double.
Like I was saying, they're mainly a hitting team. So when they come in as freshmen, that's one of the first things that the Green Jays has them start on, is learning how to hit with more power. So that's where a lot of their practices go for. And they don't spend all that much time on defense, but they do spend enough time to make sure that they keep up with the basics and to keep up with the routine plays that they need to keep going for them to win. But really for them, it's going to be the hitting. They're learning how to hit with more power. They're learning how to they mainly teach them how to hit for home runs, which I don't always agree on, but that's actually one way of how to get more power, and that's learning how to hit with the power. And the more power you get, a further home run you'll have. So it really just, for them, it's a big hitting aspect for them. That's probably what was hurting them during the regular season. They were just practicing on the hitting styles. And so they try to practice during the regular season. That way when they come to here, they're all set, they're all ready, and they start performing like they have been right now, winning shutouts and winning 7-4 on the comeback, and now winning by 5 in this game as it is.
So base taken at third after a wild pitch, and a 1-1 count for the Eagles. They've now got chance to get a score here at 2-1. Make that 3-1. And grounder gets past the first baseman. That sends another run home. 6-2 Eagles, and got between bases but tags first. So the Eagles get another run.
Now batting number 19, the left fielder, Cameron Berry.
Barry, 316 average with 20 strikeouts. And
that's
foul up, out of play. Strike two. Barry with a .411 slugging percentage. He's got 9 doubles. 316 average. Gets a hit deep to left. And the catch can't be made. It's going to hit off of the wall. Are they going to send him home? Yes. And a triple, send him a triple there for Cameron Barry and make that 6-3 for the Eagles. And the Eagles dugout is fired up.
Yeah, the momentum's definitely changed. Now you hear the Green Jays staying quiet and the Eagles roaring loud. And really on that, I don't agree on the diving play. When you're already up by 5, you just want to make sure that you play the ball cleanly and not go for that diving play. And you could prevent a run, but by doing that, you let them have a run. So now you got to work back up to getting that run back and making sure that you can still win this game.
And Eric Chavez. Chavez with 238 on his average, 349 slugging. And they send a pitcher over to the bullpen to get warmed up, so no substitution yet for the Green Jays, but looking like they're going to get somebody up pretty soon. The bottom of the 4th. So Chavez replacing Torres. Chavez replacing Torres in the batting order. 1-0. Make that 2-0. Two one. Three one. Gesundheit. Hey, when it is allergy season, you hear the sneezes no matter how soon you try to take off the headset. 3-1. Swing and a miss for the full count. Struck him out.
Now batting number 3.
And now Blake
shortstop,
McCutcheon.
McCutcheon.
McCutcheon up for 339. 11 stolen bases, only caught stealing once with 21 RBIs. Has a runner on third. Strike one. And slight hit, first base toss. That sends us to the top of the fourth. Score 6-3. The Eagles managed to get two and cut the deficit in half.
Leading off for the Green Jays, number
And
33, the designated hitter,
Javen
Greer.
Greer back up for the 319 average. 7 home runs as the DH. Starts off the top of the 5th inning. Ball 2. Grounder fair. Third baseman can't catch it. Is he going to get in time? Safe on first.
Yeah, because it was right down the
Greer's safe on first after the third baseman couldn't get it. Simpson at bat, and they've got
Now batting number
DeRiggi
24,
on deck.
Mr. Bo Simpson.
And a deep hit to right field. Base hit. Safe on first and second.
Now batting number 21, the third baseman, Alex DeRiggi.
Here comes DeRiggi. Seen this situation before. Runner on first and second. DeRiggi up to the plate, and what will he do this time? Take a 1-0 count. Two 2-0. One ball away from loading the bases.
Yeah, right now he's just trying to pitch around him because he's scared of what he can do next. He's already hit a 3-run home run on the opposite side of the field. So he doesn't want that to happen again in this situation.
And walk there for DeRiggi with the bases loaded. And we got a visit to the mound. Potential pitching change coming up here. So lefty in the bullpen. And they'll make the change. So Khalil Dunn will face off with the new pitcher Seth Weiss with a 4.59 ERA. He's got 39 strikeouts and 23 walks. One complete game played with 14 appearances. He has a WL of 3-3. And 4 home runs allowed, the most of any pitcher for the Eagles. And the last thing you need is a home run right now with the bases loaded, especially from Khalil Dunn, who hasn't found one yet. He's hungry for a home run. Swing and a miss. 1-1. So they've got Kaufman on deck with no outs. Another swing and miss. It's rolled foul. Even count. We have a dugout full of umpires, apparently, as it's sent deep to left. Bounce and base hit, and run number 7 for the Green Jays.
Now batting number 11, the center fielder, Dave Kaufman.
So the bases still loaded. And still not an out with more chances to score. And Kaufman up to the plate with 1 home run and 15 hits on 62 appearances. It's 306 slugging. Gets a grounder. It gets to the shortstop, out on second, and safe on first, and that's run number 8. Runners now on first and third, and only 1 out thus far.
Now batting number 9, the shortstop, DJ.
Make that 5 runs until the Green Jays are leading by 10. Runner on first and third. That's DJ Wright. DJ Wright has Reeves on deck with a 744 slugging percentage. Very likely to see a base hit here. count 2-0. And more superstition occurring for the pitcher. Just making sure he's got a good grip on the ball. 2-0 count. Gets a line drive back to the outfield, run number 9. Six-run lead for the Green Jays.
Now batting number 4, the second baseman, Travis Reeves.
And Travis Reeves up, 397 slugging with 23 RBIs. And leads the team in stolen bases with 12. Low for 1-0. And send that. And the catch missed. And a run home. Sending them through. 10-3.
Just a poor error on third baseman right there, just throwing it too high when he wasn't that far away from him. So that's an easy run given up by the Dyersburg State Eagles right there.
Now runners on second and third with just 1 out. And who better to come up at this time than C.J. Clark? 14 homers throughout the season, 2 of them coming in the playoffs. Is it his time to get another home run? 1-0. And just a coach talking with the umpire.
Now batting number 2, the right fielder, Derek.
So 10-3, Junker up with the second out of the inning. And the umpires were in the incorrect position, so just getting aligned. Now 10-3, Green Jays getting 4 runs here in the top of the 6th. Strike 1. Oh, 2, excuse me, 1-1. Strike 2. And takes the hit. Full bases. And
That's just something you don't want to do right there, especially now that the bases are loaded. And you got a big hitter coming up, too.
Greer with a 548 slugging going into the playoffs. 7 home runs. Will we see our first grand slam of the playoffs? Very unlikely, but always a possibility, especially with big hitters like Greer. The 1-0. Weiss has allowed the most home runs of any of the Eagles pitchers with 4. 1-1. And groundered up the third baseline. Can't
he
get the catch.
misses it.
Run 11. Base is still loaded with 2 outs, 11-3. The Green Jays just racking up more and more runs on the Eagles. As Simpson steps up to the plate with a 323. Now 3 errors for the Eagles. Strike. And a hit on the way, left field. Catch and a 5-run inning for the Green Jays. They lead 11-3. What will the Eagles respond with? Bottom of the 5th, 11-3. The Green Jays just had an explosive inning at the top, and the Eagles are going to try to respond to keep it from creeping closer to the mercy rule in the 7th inning. As the Green Jays pitch a 1-1. 2-1. Martin. Got a piece of that. Even count. Guys are trying to get it done. Full count. 3-2. And 8 on it. It's going foul, but the catch can't be made.
And it's fair.
Ruled fair. Stayed in line, couldn't make the catch, and safe on first.
Number 6, the third baseman, Drew Rickert.
Drew Record up to bat with runner on first. 1-0. And easy catch by the shortstop. 1 out.
Now batting number 5, the center fielder, Evan Gillum.
Runner on first with the count 1-0 and 1 out. Bottom of the 5th as the Eagles are down by 8. And a ball up to right. It's caught and second out. The Eagles are seeking to get some distance on their hits. They're just not able to get the timing right.
I mean, you're absolutely right. And more of the fact that they're actually getting a lot under the ball as they want to right now. Most of their hits have been really pop flies and flyouts, and it hasn't been a lot of ground balls results. So that's something to work on when you're Dyersburg. Say it's not to get under the ball, and that's to make line drives.
Plus the air is real heavy here at night. It ain't carrying like they're used to it.
And send it deep to
Great
left.
hit.
Great hit towards the wall.
Off the
It's
wall.
off. Close enough to being a home run, and the Eagles are going to send one home. And make that run number 4. So the Eagles at least get the deficit down to 7 runs. But knowing how explosive the Green Jays can be, they might be able to get an easy response. Nellis up to bat for 67 slugging. He's got a runner on second. Another big hit to right field, going back towards the wall.
And that
Ground rule
was
double. Run number 5.
Now batting number
You know that thing you said about jinxing?
Yeah.
I think with mentioning that they didn't get the timing right, they just got a surge. Well, that must be.
That's not jinxing. That's high hopes. And constructive criticism.
Maybe they have a wire up to the broadcast booth, and they're hearing all of this and taking the notes from the higher perspective.
You?
Maybe. Well, higher literally because we're up in the press box.
Oh, fair enough. That too.
One and one. Two one. Three one. Swing and a miss for the full count. And send it right to the second baseman. That'll send us to the top of the 6th, 11-5. The Eagles at least get 2 runs. Top of the 6th inning, DeRiggi leads off for the Green Jays. Spencer Thompson and Austin Ray bringing you game 4 today's action. We got we were about to play old-time rock and roll while he was up to bat. Somebody needs to ask the ump what's wrong with that. As the Riggy steps up, Austin Ray and Spencer Tomset bringing you every bit of the action here from Dave Hall Field in Columbia for the Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament of 2019. Columbia State is serving as a gracious host to the baseball and softball tournaments. And as I was mentioning earlier, Johnny Luttrell, the athletic director for Columbia State, who's been very impactful and very helpful through the entire process for getting us set up with a broadcasting equipment as well as coordinating everything else around with the tournament. Everything's been going smoothly and according to plan.
Thank you, Johnny.
Aside from the late starts of the baseball games, but of course nothing that can be done on any coordination end to guarantee the next games will start like that.
We don't blame you, Johnny. We blame the system.
Blame the baseball system. 1-2 count for DeRiggi. And hit to right field. Catch.
Now batting number 1.
So here's Khalil Dunn.
Got him.
It's the 1-0 for Dunn. And right field.
Could be down.
Can't make the catch. Slips and can't get it out there. Another error. He's not going to head back to second. And
That's the pitcher that's down,
I
too.
believe the pitcher trying to make the catch there. He's down. It's never a good sight to see. Just a little bit. Just Seth Weiss a little bit shaken up. Looked at there, so safe on first. Looks like the pitcher's still safe back on the mound. And Kaufman back up to bat. 242 average. 9 RBIs and only 1 home run on the season for him. 306 slugging.
Cade Hoffman.
The top of the 6th, the Green Jays trying to get more on their lead to potentially make it a game over in 7 innings. Only take 4 runs at this point. Down to 1 out of this juncture. Foul grounder. The 0-2 count. Looks like the Green Jays got somebody in the dugout, struck him out.
Now batting number
DJ
9,
Wright.
Shortstop DJ Wright.
11 homers and a 744 slugging, so don't be surprised if you see it going for a base hit. runner on first. Try to get himself and his teammate into scoring possession or back to home plate. Tag first. But called a balk and advanced to second. One out. 0-1. Facing a 0-2.
Dew's falling. I had to wipe my windshield off last night.
Top of the sixth, 0-2. With 2 outs. The Green Jays trying to get some more runs here to get it closer to being over than going later into the night. Need 4 runs to get that 10-run lead. And for a team that's started in the wild card, they get a 3rd out in the top of the 6th, and they lead by 6. The 2018 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament is sponsored by Sundrop Bottling, Alpha Graphics of Franklin, Lister Hill Credit Union, Hampton by Hilton, and Fairfield by Marriott. Bottom of the 6th. And Trevor Mace takes the mound with a 3.21 ERA. Has 8 walks, 19 strikeouts in 14 innings pitched and 11 appearances. And a 1-0 count already there for the Eagles' Cameron Berry. Gets a foul there for 1-1. You know, as I was saying earlier, for a team that was seeded in the wild card and had to win to get into the tournament, they are not playing at all like they're a wild card team. They're playing almost on the level of Walter State, if not just a little bit under.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what they're going for. They want to match the level of Walter State because they know, especially at this point, that they're ahead in the lead, that they should be getting prepared more to face Walter State in the next game. And so that they're really just going to be focusing on just trying to be fast with their hands, be quick on their feet, and have strong hands to where they can make great plays out there and hit hard, and so they can at least keep up with the level and the same intensity as Walter State.
They're one of the two teams that defeated Columbia State 3 games in their series. I think Chattanooga was the other.
And it's a piece of that for 0-2. Mace trying to keep the Eagles from getting another run here. Potentially put his team in position to get 4 runs at the top of the 7th. Foul called. Grounder there and out. Make that out number 2, the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting number 3, the shortstop, Blake McCutcheon.
Blake McCutcheon trying to get something going for the Eagles here with the tied for the most at-bats. And with a 339 RBI, gets the first strike. (3-1) as the Eagles look for something here. Down by 6 runs and walk heading to first. And Kristen Martin.
Now batting number 7, the right fielder, Kristen Martin.
On base 472. Tied with record for RBIs. Faces the 0-1. And tipped up and out for the 0-2. And, talk about the story with Dyersburg State as well. They're one of the teams that did not have to play in the wild card, and against a team like Cleveland State, who is now out of the tournament, lost 10-9 to Motlow, who Jackson State managed to beat 7-4. You would have thought it would be a closer turn of events there as it goes to center field, and heading to the top of the 7th, the Green Jays have a chance to take the lead by 10 runs or more and potentially shut down the game. Top of the 7th. And as I was saying before we got to the break, just looking at the scores for how this matchup came to be, I mean, a 3-2 victory for the Eagles over the Cleveland State Cougars. And, of course, the Cougars out now. They lost 10-9 to the Bucks, and the Bucks lost 7-4 to Jackson State. So it begs the question kind of, should Jackson State, just looking at how Jackson State was seeded and such, obviously regular season determines where you get placed in the tournament and such, but with the way they played here, what is it that Cleveland and Motlow really did? Is it anything that Cleveland or Motlow did wrong to put themselves in that position to be in the loser's bracket, or did Dyersburg and Jackson just do all the correct things to get to this moment?
For that kind of question, you can look at it different ways. Really, none of the teams did anything wrong. The only thing that I could say for both of them is that it's not that they didn't want more than enough, but they just didn't play as hard enough. They had good, especially Motlow last night. Motlow was having it great last night. They were in the lead, and then
instant catch by the pitcher. It's a grounder there and an out.
Yeah, so, yeah, it really wasn't that because Motlow did a great job last night. They were hitting the ball real well. They were hitting every spot that they could to get a base hit or even a home run. They did get one home run last night too. But Jackson State, they were just more competitive and more influenced. Like there was just a spark in them that they just couldn't distinguish. And so that just led Motlow to not giving it. They gave it their all, but it just wasn't hard enough compared to Jackson State. And Dyersburg, they just came out of nowhere and just started playing as a full-blown team, and that's where the team from their dugout just starts going in more and more, and they're behind their backs and everything. So it comes to the point where your teammate is always going to be behind you.
And there's another hit by C.J. Clark. Doesn't carry all the way up, all the way over past the wall. Just gets out there for out number 2.
Yeah,
And that may be, it's possible that that could be the last time we see him up to bat if somehow the Green Jays get 4 runs here, but likely we're going to go the full 9 innings.
Yeah, it's the only bad part about playing in nice and that's just because the ball never carries as far as it does in the daytime. The air is thinner. It's going to be pushing a lot more, so you really just got to be careful of when you're hitting it into the air and how hard you hit it, because the higher it goes, the thinner air is, and the more it won't carry. So you just got to be careful when that happens.
Two zero. And there's one carrying back to the wall. Hits off. And attempted double. Safe. How about that one for Junker? And here comes Greer with
Now batting number 33.
Junker on second, who's had 4 stolen bases and has had a total of 35 runs. One zero. And top of the 7th inning, getting close to the 7th inning stretch. Swing and a miss.
Y'all go ahead. I'll sit right here.
Greer hits it to right field. And catch made. That's going to end the top of the 7th, 11-5. The Green Jays lead the Eagles. Let's hear from our shout-outs, Mr. Ray.
Yeah, so we're sorry about the interruptions that we're having on our YouTube page right now. We just found out that on the live chats that some of the chats do go away at a certain time or when there's too many. So we're sorry about that. So I'm just going to read off the ones that we do have right now. We got a shout out from Taylor Wilkinson. It says shout out to my boys CJ and KD. Win this game, bros. Tay. We also got a shout out from Maui Own. Shout out to all my DSCC teams. Go boys. Shout out from Kylan Reynolds. Shout out to Bo Simpson. Hit me a home run, hillbilly. That's actually a really good one. And we also got a shout out from Paul Ray saying that both of these teams are doing a really good job and that both of them are looking like alumni sightings. So thank you guys for the comments and for the shout outs. So remember to stay tuned every time and always post your shout outs on the comments sections. And we're sorry for the inconvenience at this time for some of those people that gave us shout outs and we did not say them. We just found that out. So next time we'll try to figure out a way to where you can post your shout outs and we'll be able to keep them on there. So next time we'll do that for you guys. But thank you for all the shout outs and stay tuned for us the rest of the game.
Heading to the top of the 8th. Excuse me, still in the bottom of the 7th. High pitch up for the 1-0 count. Eagles trying to get something going here. It'll obviously go unless the Green Jays can score 4. And the Eagles score nothing in the bottom of the 8th. We're pretty much set to go to 9 innings here. 1-1. Make that 1-2.
Where'd he go? How did it? Yeah. That's Cubs, I think. Yeah, I was looking at it the other night, and I thought it was Boston. It was papered up.
1-2 count. Record up on the plate right now.
Started yesterday, didn't it? Well, it started at 6.
And it's a weird series of events there by the catcher,
Oh.
and safe. Close there, just a weird series of events there. And now a runner safe on first.
Now batting number 5, the center fielder.
Catcher not reacting quick enough.
Yeah, on the catcher. Nice ball.
Gilliam up to bat. The 381.
Bad time to lose it, something like it.
1-1. So if the score holds, the Green Jays have a date with the Walter State Senators in the winner's bracket final. If the Eagles somehow come back and win this one, then that would send the Green Jays to face off against the Columbia State Chargers tomorrow at 1. So that grounds out foul. The Chargers are lucky that because today and yesterday they had 10 a.m. start games, so they get to sleep in a little bit this time to start at 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
They got to fix the field, though.
yeah, they do gotta wake up early. They gotta help Coach Corn out fix the field, even though that Columbia has a landscaping crew that does help out with the field. He always try to keep the players involved with all of them.
Grounder past the shortstop. Safe on first and second. Corn always getting the baseball players involved with the tending of the groundskeeping, just to help give them perspective on all that goes into keeping
Now
the
batting
field
number
nice and
22,
tended.
the second baseman, Luis Rodriguez.
And Rodriguez back up. Strike one. So with runners on first and second, no out yet here in the bottom of the 7th. Grounder fair, picked up by the third baseman, out at second, and not out at first, couldn't get the tag. So out one.
Now batting number 2, the designated hitter, Josh Nellis.
1-0 count with a runner on first and third for the Eagles. Two-0 count. The Green Jays have got a pitcher getting warmed up. Strike one for Nellis.
Hard to
11-5, bottom of the seventh. It's a 2-2 count with runners on first and third. Winner goes on to face Walter State. Loser facing Columbia State tomorrow at 1.
Spencer, I know this reminds you of something. It reminds me of last night, staying here so late. But the weird thing about it is now it's just so this game's been so intense. It doesn't even feel like that you've been staying out late.
And advances to second, and like another run for the Eagles. Make that run number 6. You talk about intensity there. It's now a 5-run game. Count full at 3-2 with a runner on second. And easy catch. Second baseman couldn't pick it up. Run to third. And the line drive. Still a second out.
Now batting number 24, the first baseman, Kylan Johnson.
Kylan Johnson, 349 slugging with a 264 average. Strike one for Johnson. One and one. Two one. The Eagles getting a little bit more vocal as the game is progressing deeper into the night. The Green Jays a little bit more silent than they were earlier. Johnson faces the 2-2. Got a piece of that for the foul. Two and two. Out for another foul. Full count. swinging, struck him out. And head to the top of the 8th inning, 11-6. The Eagles get one. Bo Simpson up to bat. As the Green Jays need 5 runs to try and force the hand of the Eagles to get one. Extend the game an inning. 1-0. Foul for the 1-1. Strike 2. So head to the top of the 8th here. Pop up for a foul. Fans still faithful in the seats here. A lot of fans still faithful here in the bleachers of Dayball Field, watching the game wind down as Green Jays lead by 5 runs, and the Eagles potentially have a date with the Chargers tomorrow. And grounder gets past the pitcher. Out! Didn't get in time. So out number 1 for the top of the 8th.
Now batting number 21, the third baseman, Alex Irigi.
Now DeRiggi back up. We all know what he did in the top of the 2nd. Swing and a miss there. One. 1-2. Even count. Set out to the right. And full count.
3-2.
Grounder ruled fair, and tag on first. Out number 2. So as we get close to the bottom of the 8th and 28 minutes short of midnight, the Eagles are looking to hold the Green Jays to their only 11 runs and try to give them less of a challenge going into their final 2.5 innings, or final 2 half innings. Swing and a miss. What's the game plan for the Eagles going into the bottom of the 8th and potentially the bottom of the 9th?
Really, the game plan is just to keep on the momentum that they have from the last inning and making easy plays just like they are. Ooh,
Oh, looked like a potential easy play there, but couldn't make the catch, and a runner on first for the Eagles.
spoke way too soon on that.
Well, you were talking about the Eagles not making any errors in the game plan for the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, but really, they got to start hitting a little bit better if they're wanting to come back and win it in the next 2 innings. They got to definitely do some in this inning right here and also in the next inning on the next time out. And that's just majority of getting base hits, hard base hits, to where that they are able to run it out for doubles and can get runs scored as fast as possible.
Camera going out temporarily there. We got it back up for you. Oh, a 0-1 count. Oh, 2. Runner on first with 2 outs in the top of the 8th as the Eagles are trying to prevent any more runs from the Green Jays. Already allowed 11 in the span of 4 innings. Shut them out for 2 innings in a row and struck them out there. Make that 3 innings straight. They've shut out the Green Jays, but they're down by 5 heading to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, 11-6. The Green Jays leading over the Eagles in this semifinal of the winners bracket, second round of the Region 8 tournament. 1-0 count for the Eagles. That's the game plan here with 6 outs left on their winners bracket hopes is strategy here is to try and get something going. Cameron Berry with a 411 slugging and 421 on base. Looking to get something here. And pitch up for 2-1. Three one. 3-1 count. I think you're having a little bit too much hallucinations up here, Austin.
That's not hallucination. It's just drowsiness. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
I'm still able to see clearly. It's just my mind is somewhere else right now.
3-1.
Yes, he did.
And
I think so.
And walk to first.
Well, as far as they don't pay me to be an umpire.
Paying you to be a broadcaster for this whole week. Paying the both of us.
Yeah.
And Castro up now. Eric Castro up with a 222 average and 222 slugging.
Eric Castro.
Number 14.
Eric Castro.
He's only had 18 at-bats with 4 hits and 1 run. He's had 3 RBIs and has been struck out 5 times, walked 3.
Spencer, you look a little tired yourself too there, bud.
It's 20 minutes till midnight. We were out of here by at least I left at about 12:15 after getting everything packed up and such. And there's a ball to the right. Outfielder hardly has to move, and out number 1. McCutcheon
Now batting number
back in.
3,
404 slugging.
McCutcheon.
Well, the loser has to play in about 13 hours. Winner plays tomorrow night. Actually, tomorrow afternoon at about 4 o'clock against the Senators. So, sure the Eagles are going to love hearing that if they end up taking the loss. Is, hey, you guys have to turn around in 12 hours for a game. 0-1. And hit down the center. Base hit. Runner's now on first and third. Center fielder has a cannon for an arm.
Yeah,
that came out of nowhere. So now a runner on first and third and a chance for the Eagles to get another run.
Now batting number 7, the right fielder, Christian.
But 5 outs left on their winner's bracket hopes. And a runner on first and third to get it closer. Kristen Martin, 543 slugging. Strike one.
Oh,
It's
super
pop
high.
up in play.
I lost it. There it
Big
is.
old fly gets caught for out 2. 4 outs away. Drew Record up. The 567 slugging.
Now batting number 6, the third baseman is Drew Rickert.
Strike one. Record with 41 RBIs. He's got a runner on first and third. Chance for the Eagles to at least get some score. Because as you mentioned before, Austin, it is the 9th inning. Whether you're the away or home team, it's one of the most difficult innings to get a score in.
Yeah, it is. That's just because you're a journalist rushing a lot more than what it usually is, and so the anticipation of everything that's going on throughout this whole game, and you've already had a little fatigue on you, and really it's going to be the stress that's going into this game that your body functions and your muscles just won't work like they used to at the very start of the game. You're starting to wear down. You're starting to physically break down just a little bit. So that's why it's always one of the hardest ways to come back in the game. It's not impossible, but it's definitely hard to do.
I think that applies for more than just players, as we've had a long day of broadcasting. Although each of the umpires have officiated different sets of games. Strike two. On a full count. As Record tries to get something going for the Eagles, facing 4 outs away from having to be in the loser's bracket against Columbia State. Three-two. They pop up fouls behind home plate. We're about at 3:07 for the game length. And 1 inning left. Pops back up behind. Three-two pitch with runner on first and third. Here's the 3-2. High up, another walk, and full bases. Now a visit to the mound, and they've got pitcher warming up in the bullpen. And looks like they will make a pitching change in just a moment. Coach heads back without a pitching change. Likely they're getting the pitcher warmed up in the bullpen just to close that out in the 9th. As the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Now Gilliam
Now batting number 5 is center fielder.
with 49 RBIs, the most coming into the postseason. The most RBIs of his team up to this point. Their stats have been updated from yesterday's game. Faces the 0-1. Got 3 home runs. Now faces strike 2. And it looks like they're warming up Justin Studd for the Green Jays. And Studd with a 5.68 ERA, 24 strikeouts, 14 walks on 22 innings played, 19 appearances. And ball 1. And hit up to left field. And this game is headed to inning 9. No runs at all for the Eagles. Headed to the top of the 9th. The final game of the day.
No runs, 1.
New pitcher for the Eagles, Collazo. Christian Collazo with a 4.03 ERA. 3 home runs allowed with 44 strikeouts and 27 walks. He's pitched 38 innings, the most appearances of any pitcher of the Eagles at 25. And with those 38 innings pitched, going to be an interesting closer choice for the Eagles. And Reeves is on deck. It's like Reeves on deck and Nichols looks like, excuse me, not Nichols. DJ Wright is set to bat. For the final pitches here, and here comes DJ Wright. with a 744 slugging. 19 doubles. Leads over Greer by 10 for the, by 9 for the team lead. 11 home runs just behind
Leading off for the
CJ
Green Jays,
Clark.
Number 9, the shortstop, DJ Wright.
And Jackson State has not updated their stats prior to the tournament. And we are 8 minutes away from midnight. About a 3-hour, 15-minute mark for this baseball game. Two 0. Two 1. Just a reminder that tomorrow's schedule, 10 a.m. on the second round of losers bracket, the Chattanooga State Tigers face off against the Motlow State Bucks. At 1 o'clock, Columbia State will host the loser of this game. If the score holds, it'll be the Eagles. And a strike called, 2-2. And at 4:30, the Senators of Walter State will face off against the winner of this game. If the score holds, that'll be the Green Jays. And then the semifinal of the losers bracket will be at 7:30. Matchup between the winner of games at 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock. That'll all be broadcast here on the same YouTube channel for the 2019 TCCAA baseball tournament. And count is 2-2. Collazo trying to close it out here. Make sure the Green Jays don't get any more runs. And full count now. Three, 2. Takes the hit pitch and advanced to first. Reeves up to bat. 414 on base percentage. So quick stoppage of play. The umpire talking with the coach. So on the full count, just looking back here at the playback on our side, looked like it hit him in the side. Not sure what the direct stoppage is for. Looks like a
It's for the hip hop pitch that he had. He got hit in the ribs or someplace fragile on him.
yeah, so trying to walk it off. So the training staff looking at him. So we'll step aside. Top of the ninth. He's all right. Looked at by the medical staff and safe on first.
Now batting number 4.
Looked like the ball looked like it may have hit his side or shoulder blade. Something like that, and he leads off on first. Looks like he's all right. Reeves. 1-0 count. Strike one. As the Green Jays are trying to get another score here. Make it more difficult for the Eagles to make it back in the bottom of the ninth. And attempted stolen base. The catcher couldn't get control of it. And safe at second. Count 1-2.
What happens if they score 5 runs, 16-6?
Oh, you still play the last the half inning, you
I
gotta
was
get
going to ask him.
And deep to right. A little bit separated from the roll. The catch made. Out number 1. It's safe on third. So for those of you wondering about the mercy rule about the 10 runs or more, doesn't apply at this point since the Eagles are the home team. They still play to the bottom of the ninth. If it were the other way around with the Green Jays being the home team and the Eagles up to bat right now, then that would be a different story. As we have C.J. Clark back up on the plate. Last chance for him to get a home run. And sets one to left. And fouled out. You get some power under that one, but didn't get it quite inside the line. He's wanting that home run bad. He's wanting to keep that home run streak alive. The 1-1 count. 1-2. So the box score right now, the Green Jays 11 runs, 10 hits, and 3 errors. And the Eagles with 6 runs, 11 hits, and 4 errors. And sent to right for a foul. And hits off of the garden netting of Hospitality. Nobody else out there this time around.
Now batting number 2, the right fielder, Derek Yucker.
Two outs. And a pop-up, right side, and we're headed to the bottom of the 9th. 5-run lead for the Green Jays. The Eagles trying to have a date with the Senators in the winners' semifinal. Rodriguez up to bat for the bottom of the 9th as the Eagles try to get out of this 5-run hole. And Rodriguez faces the 1-1 freshman infielder. Definitely testing his wits here at past midnight in Columbia. It's Wednesday, my friend. 1-2.
We've got a picture here named Rodriguez, whatever name Luis, and that was funny when they were both out playing. They were playing each other.
An even count for the Eagles. Is it the point to start looking to try and get more sleep against Columbia State? And catch, third base, and out. 1 out away. But as I was asking before the play, is it the time for the Eagles to start thinking about getting sleep and being prepared to face off against the Chargers at 1 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm not going to blame you. I've been thinking about the same thing because we're going to have to be here early in the morning, do this all over again, which is fine for us. But really, it's just going to be a lot of stress on the players, especially after they're getting done playing a long night of baseball, going over three and a half hours right now. So they're just going to have to dig it out tomorrow and get enough sleep as they can.
What about us poor people that are having to sit up here and not do anything? And if you're inactive, it
1-1 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. There's a foul for 1-2. Gets a grounder to right field, and that is a base hit for the Eagles.
Now batting number 24, the first baseman, Kylan Johnson.
So Kylan Johnson, or excuse me, Tylen Johnson up to bat with a .349 slugging. .264 average. Base is the 0-1. The runner on first. Two one. And balk called, advance to second. And another mound visit. So, assuming the score holds, the Green Jays are headed to the winners' final for, to play for a slot in the tournament championship. And the Eagles face off against the Columbia State Chargers, both teams on their last of life. Two and one. Gets a grounder past the pitcher It's to the shortstop and couldn't get the tag in time. Safe on first and third. Now safe on first and third.
19, the left fielder Cameron Berry.
Three hours and 35 minutes, about the estimated time we've been on the air. How long this baseball game has lasted for, a little bit longer as it goes foul. 0-1. If you ever wondered what happens to a broadcaster's voice after calling 4 games in a row for 2 days, you'll experience it tomorrow and find how raspy somebody's voice can get.
We're already close to it with mine, so is that fair ball?
And it's ruled foul.
Fans aren't happy.
No, the dugout isn't happy.
I don't know who it is anymore.
I mean, they're technically fans, but it's a dugout guy who was shouting, "No way."
I see one person over there. That's why I thought it was him.
I couldn't even see it, so I couldn't judge whether it was or not. Can you see it?
The dugout protesting on that. Runners on first and third with 1 out on the 0-2 count. Slot in the winner's final on the line. 1-2. We'd like to thank those 65 of you still sticking with us watching right now. It's a late night here in Columbia for all of us, and a fouled grounder. Late night for all of us here in the press box. It's our 4th game of the day, the 2nd day in a row we've done this. We got to do it for one more day with 4 games straight, and then Thursday, assuming the rain holds off, but looking at the forecast, it looks like 100% chance of rain on Thursday. The conference will likely delay the games till Friday and see if the weather clears up, but I believe at some point on Sunday is the absolute last time they have to hold it. Otherwise, it defaults to the regular season champions for the championship, which would be the Walters State Senators, and they would head on to Georgia for the national championships. And looking now at the forecast, 90% chance of rain, so it's gone down 10% the last time I looked. And Friday, 50% chance of rain. Through the weekend, 100% chance. So it's looking like it's set to rain throughout the weekend as a grounder goes to the shortstop and tag up on second, toss to first, safe. And 1 run, the Eagles get 11-7. So now 2 outs, and the Eagles are 5 runs away. Tough hill to climb. 4 runs away. A tough hill to climb at 11-7. And we've seen it happen before. It's one of those tough ones. Well, it's official. About at this time is when I stepped into my car last night and started to drive back home. And grounded ball. The catch tossed to second is out. And the Green Jays are headed to the final of the champions bracket against the Senators. 11-7, the final score on tonight's game. And about 3 hours and 40 minutes on that one. Maybe a little bit over or under. But that solves it there. So, a long day of baseball. And updating the bracket here so we can give you the full schedule for tomorrow. Get this updated real quick for you guys to have referenced in just a moment. So here's what we're looking at for tomorrow's schedule, Austin. We got at 10 o'clock, Chattanooga State. The Chattanooga State Tigers are colliding with the Motlow State Bucks. The Dyersburg State Eagles, with their loss today, they face off against the Columbia State Chargers at 1 o'clock. And 4:30, the Senators of Walter State and the wild card Green Jays of Jackson State face off at 4:30. And the winners of the 2 losers bracket games will face off in the semifinal of the losers side to play the loser of Walter State, Jackson State for a slot in the championship. And that second semi, the loser 11 game, takes place on Thursday, assuming the rain holds off. And that will wrap it up for our coverage here. Our coverage here for the day from Dave Hall Fields. On behalf of Austin Ray, I'm Spencer Thompson. It's time for us to get home. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 o'clock.